All right. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, real quick. I didn't realize that this was like. I mean, I knew because I had just watched it, right? But I stepped away and it came back to it. I guess I forgot about it. But basically, he just started, and already I was like, "Fuck that guy!" Like immediately. I don't even know who this is, right? And so I wanted to go back to the okay. So through all of it, there's little things I didn't agree with, but we get to like lesson one. Once there was a flood or whatever, right? And he gets into it, right? So at the beginning, little hits, right? But I was like, okay, maybe it's fine. We'll hear him out. We'll know what he's talking about. We'll go from there. But he got into it. Then I was just like,
Ancient
so check it out.
Apocalypse, Episode 1, Ghosts of a Drowned World. Where are we?
Okay, so this it seemed like nothing to me. It seemed like nothing to me. It seemed like he was just going through the book. I didn't realize he actually already has a chip on his shoulder. That's why he's like this. It's not because he's looking through the book or it's because he's already angry about something. Now it's quite obvious. Looking at this the first time since my realization that I have replayed it and went back and I'm looking at it again. So I forgot that this happened. Right? I'm looking at it for the first time, technically the second time, but I don't remember. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay. But now I actually see, oh, there was something there. I didn't know at the beginning. It's kind of like when you date somebody and you love them, right? Or you think you love them. And then you get to know them and you're like, wow, this is a shitty person. Like, you get to realize, like, oh my God, I didn't realize how fucking terrible this person was. This is because they were fronting, pretending to be something they're not. And then when you got to know them, you're like, dude, there's nothing there. There is nothing there, right?
There we go. Lord, give me strength.
I thought he was just being silly. It's whatever, but he means it. He means it.
It's fighting back. Ancient Apocalypse has about this.
See, that part. It's fighting back. I thought it's kind of whatever.
It's fighting back. Ancient.
I thought it was being funny. I thought it was being sarcastic. I thought it was just being amusing. I thought it was just kind of whatever. I mean, that time, I mean, maybe that little slip in the armor, maybe a little chink or a reveal of what he could be like, but instead he has a chip on his shoulder for some reason. But
Apocalypse has about the strongest start.
so look at him. Even his demeanor is the word I'm looking for. It's just kind of like he's not taking it seriously at all, and yet you want us to take you seriously. How are we supposed to take you seriously if you're not going to take him seriously? So immediately, I'm like, looking back at it now, I'm like, this is not, no.
Of any TV show I have ever seen in my life. It quite literally opens with calling Graham Hancock a journalist who is picking a fight with academia. You might
And then
be saying,
you'll,
Milo, isn't. Oh God, I still have fucking water in my nose. Give me a second. Now, you might be thinking, Milo, isn't this show about archaeology? What the hell is he doing talking about how he's like a pariah to academia? No, you'd be right. This is a show that's
that's kind of biased. You'll, again, understand why I'm bringing it up.
supposed to be about archaeology, but you will notice right off the bat the actual content of this show is Graham Hancock setting the stage to talk about how much everyone doesn't like him. And this is a theme that you.
Now, I don't agree with that. Now you can say maybe that was like a sub thing that you picked up on, and now you're trying to make it like the main thing, even though it was it was like, I told you, you ain't taking it seriously, so I'm not gonna take you seriously, right? But even then, because of how alpha I am, my I'm not taking you seriously is still more serious than yours, right? So even there, I can say I see this and I watch this and I'm just like, no. And understand with me, like I'm trying, and there's like fuck it. It's kind of like and then both. Don't get me wrong. Both publicly, I don't care. Put them out there. It's whatever. If people are gonna think that way, fine, whatever. But if you're gonna weaponize it, that's a problem, right? But I'm not gonna live my life like that. I'm not going to avoid what I would do just because you're gonna make it look worse. It's just I think people should get to the habit of looking into a person before they judge. And I've already pre-watched this, so I've already done my homework. And this dude's judging hardcore.
Hancock setting the stage to talk about how much everyone doesn't like him.
So he's not setting the stage. That was just a sub point that you decided to make bigger than his real point because you're not taking it seriously. And I can see that now.
And this is a theme that you will.
And again, the reason why is because I was taking you seriously. I was okay, all right, but never once have I been sold. I was okay, all right, I'm listening, I'm listening. But you fucked up, and now I know the jig is up basically, and I'm going back over it, and I can see that I was right.
See play out through almost every running minute of this entire series. And the best way to put it is this: Graham Hancock is more concerned with being a martyr than having his beliefs be accepted. Now,
or the fact is, that's what society does to a person. And the way I know that is because if you go watch, or if you go back and look at my YouTube history, a lot of my videos have a shit ton of downvotes. Dislike, 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 dislike. Hundreds upon hundreds of dislikes. And very few I'll get likes. I'll get like 3 likes and I'll get 40 dislikes. You know why? It's because no one gives a fuck about my point, but they give a fuck about making a big deal about what they're making a big deal, like you are right now. Much like, oh, he'd rather be a martyr. No, you rather focus on that because you're a douchebag. You're seeing how people hate him and how he has to defend himself from all of this hate, and you're deciding to focus on that instead of the actual, like, he's keeping it serene. You understand, like, what he's doing? There's two worlds, just like me. There's kind of me in reality where this to be focused, right? Like, I'm really focused, and you and me are going to connect. Period. Like, no, I get to the core. I am alpha as fuck, okay? Same with Grant, whatever his name is, right? And there's just all this noise and all this bullshit, all this anger and hatred, and people trying to talk and hate and trying to repress and quiet you down. Like, I've done it my whole life. My whole life I've been silenced. I know what it looks like, right? The problem is you're focusing on that instead of what he's saying. So already I can tell you I have almost no interest in watching what you have to say because you're not focusing on the main picture. But you said you watch it all the way and many times, so I'm going to give you a chance. Despite all of that, I'm going to take it because I'm the alpha I am. I'm going to take all of this bullshit, condense it into a ball, and just... I don't know if you heard that, but I'm going to put it down on my desk. I'm going to put it down on my desk, and I'm going to watch you, right? And every time something like that bullshit comes up, it goes into that ball. Okay? Everything that you, all this bullshit, all this hatred, all this focusing, and all this, all of this.
Hancock is more concerned with being a martyr than having his beliefs be accepted.
All of that non-focus is going into that ball. from you. And then I'm going to listen to what you have to say. Because again, I'm alpha.
Now, right off the bat, he does admit that he is not a scientist or an archaeologist, which I do appreciate him doing. But also, I think it leaves a bad taste in our mouths for when we imagine someone who...
No, it does not leave a bad taste in my mouth at all. I say thank you. That's it.
Who is an amateur at anything. I completely...
Not really. He didn't say he was an amateur. You're putting words in his mouth. He didn't say he was an amateur. He's just not paid to do what he's doing. Right? I don't consider myself an amateur at League of Legends. Right? But I wouldn't consider myself a noob either. But yet, you're like, oh, if you're not a professional, then you gotta be an amateur. So, no, that's not what he said. At all. You're being dishonest and a douchebag in saying what you're saying. Oh, he must be an amateur. No. Because that's like Fox News. You're putting a certain type of way of thinking ahead of somebody instead of just the thought. Right? You're telling people how to feel and how to answer what they should be feeling and answering themselves. That's what you're doing, just like Fox. They tell you this catastrophic story came forward that Biden won. And it's kind of shit like that. Like, or this one actually happened, right? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember the story. It was a long time ago, but it really happened, and you will know of it. You will know of it, and the whole, or at least 80% of the audience is gonna know about it. But it was like President Biden won by a marginal, just a little bit. Like I don't know. I think it was like 80,000 votes, or 800,000 votes, or whatever the fuck it was. But then when Trump won, he won by a landslide of 7,000 votes, or 70,000 votes, or 700,000 votes, whatever the fuck it was. But the point is, Biden actually had bigger, but they called it minute. And then when Trump won, it was a landslide of a victory, right? And the point is, that's the context. This is something I've been talking about for a long time. You need to focus on the context. And I don't like your context, basically. You have a chip on your shoulder with all of this shit. Now, I don't know. Because you've already went through it and you were going back and maybe you picked up that chip on the way and he deserves a chip. That's why I'm saying I'll just remember that whole deal. Remember that? Okay? That's why I did that. Because I don't know. And I'm going to find out what the fuck's going on. But I'm just saying, no, you already lost on that whole aspect. Game's already over. Boop. It's like I was in high school and there was this kid that was really good at chess. Okay? Really good at chess. Right? And then there was me and we went to a tournament. And there's this thing called Fool's Mate, where like it's just people get ahead of themselves in chess, right? And so there's this thing called Fool's Mate, where you can actually win bop, bop, checkmate, basically like something like that. And I did that to him, and I won during the tournament. It was a tournament match, and he was like, I didn't. No. And he was so ahead of himself. He didn't realize, but I had won. I had beaten him, and I could move on. But I decided, that's fine. We'll let it go. And we played a real match, and of course, he's way better than I am. I know that, right? And because of that, I was like, yeah, let's go. And so I played him and tested him, and he beat me. And I was like, cool, go on. Congratulations, good job. But I could have taken it and walked away. You would have taken that victory and would have ran on with it. But yeah, I'm the victor. Yeah. You're an asshole. You are just. I keep yelling. I'm sorry. You are why society sucks. You are exactly why society sucks. At least you are perceived as such. Because again, I don't know if you picked up that chip along the way or if that's just you. And again, if that's just you, then you suck. But if you picked up along the way, you still suck because you shouldn't be making it all about that. One way or another, it shouldn't be about that. But I can tell you right now that you are doing what I said. You're focusing on my dislikes and not my content because you're shallow. You're not as deep as he is or was or whatever the deal may be. You're not able to understand and focus and go that far, right? So
Completely agree with him. I don't think that you should need a degree in order to be an archaeologist. Being passionate and conducting your own research is not something that should be synonymous with spitting in the face of professionals.
and then again he says spitting on the face of professionals. At what point did that ever come up? Who's spitting on who? He's just telling you I'm not a professional. So understand I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm not a lawyer. Is basically all he's saying. We can still win the case. But you're acting like that chip he's just gonna lose or everything he says is nothing. But again, we don't know.
Pretty quickly into the episode.
We don't know if it's him or it's where we don't know what he studied. We don't know.
He gives us his thesis. That there was a lost advanced civilization at the end of the last ice age.
Honestly, this will be for part 2. If you want to see more, then I'm probably gonna do it. I don't have enough memory to keep going, or else I would. But again, like looking at it, it's just there's two basically there's two ways to look at it. One is that you're an asshole and you suck, and you ruined everything that happened. Or two, you are neutral and you got ruined by what you're looking at. So I will give you, I don't know yet. I haven't looked into it. I haven't watched it. I have not perceived anything. Clean slate. This is why I love what I do. I have it on my YouTube. Let me check it real quick. Because I'm an epistemologist. I'm an epistemologist. I really am. I think so. And the only reason why I know that word is because someone decided to come by on my stream one day and told me, he's like, you're an epistemologist, aren't you? I'm like, I guess. And I looked up and I'm like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, yeah. But anyways, thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm doing this live, so you're welcome to come by. Anyways, peace. But I won't get any love on my live network because the system is rigged to the point where I won't promote the rich, so I'm going to be pushed down into the dirt, basically. I'm kind of like Aladdin. Basically, I am Aladdin, the diamond in the rough, basically. Anyways, it's been awesome. I want to watch the movie again. But yeah, anyways, take a look, kids. Have a good in peace. I want to watch the movie again, but the original, the remakes are garbage. I watched what is it? I'm gonna be the main event, so enemies beware. I've never seen a king of beasts with quite so little hair. Lion King, right? I watched that, and all that I seen was that one little bit, and I was disgusted. Same thing here. Like they took something so great and confined it into garbage. It just destroyed. Instead of like making it and speaking, they sold out. Anyways, they're all about impressing the new kids instead of changing the kids to be impressed. They're all about, well, you like it, so ha ha, instead of making now you like it. That's what I would do. Now you like it. But I'm alpha, so anyways, peace.